Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Dear students, today we are going to study about the periodic table of elements. What are the elements? If you see all the universe, you will find only these types of elements, okay, which react with each other chemically and form the different compounds that can be ionic compound or covalent compounds, okay. So here we are going to start the periodic table. These are elements, okay. हाइड्रोजन, लिथियम, सोडियम, पोटासियम, रुबिडियम, सीजियम, फ्रांशियम। हालिनी की रब से फरियाद। बड़ी मज का सर बड़ा। बेरिलियम, मैग्नीशियम, कैल्शियम, स्ट्रांसियम, बेरियम, रेडियम। बाबा अली गया इंडिया, थाईलैंड। Okay, these are the new elements which are discovered right now. Okay, you can say recently these have been discovered. Okay, सस्ती गई सिंध पंजाब। नेशन पाकिस्तान 80 सब भाई। ओ सस्सी टीपू। फहीम क्लीनिंग बाथरूम इन अटक। हाली ने और कराए एक्स-रे. These are the newly discovered elements, so that's why in this type of mnemonics which are well understood by the Urdu speaking or Punjabi speaking peoples. So these are the transition elements which are in the middle, so they are not as important as these are. These are called normal elements, okay. So in the periodic table, top to bottom, these are called the groups. How many groups are there? There are 18 groups, okay. And from left to right, these are called periods. And how many periods are there? There are 7 periods, okay. We have these two series which have been placed at the bottom of periodic table. These are called F block elements, okay. Actually, the place for this line is over there, and for this is here. So still we have the 7, you can say, periods. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there are 18 groups. Is it clear? So now let me tell you that these are called noble gases. Noble elements are noble gases. Why? Because they do not react. Because they do not react. And the reason for their not reaction or for their inertness is their stability, which is due to their duplet or octet rule. Means helium has its outermost electron filled with the 2 electrons, outermost shell filled with the 2 electrons, okay. And while other elements have 8 electrons in the outermost shell, that's why they are stable. They are stable, okay. Yes, they are stable. So all the elements try to become stable like noble gases. Try to become stable like noble gases. To become like noble gases, they have to gain electronic configuration like the noble gases to be similar with them, okay. तो इन जैसा होने के लिए इनको इलेक्ट्रॉन लूज भी करने पड़ते हैं, गेन भी करने पड़ते हैं और शेयर भी करने पड़ते हैं. दे हैव टू शेयर, लूज और गेन इलेक्ट्रॉन to become to get their outermost filled with the octet with the 8 electrons or the 2 electrons, okay. डुप्लेट को सिर्फ 2 फॉलो करते हैं, एक हाइड्रोजन फॉलो करती है, एक लिथियम फॉलो करती है, एक बेरिलियम, बल्कि ये 3 हो गए, ठीक है. और बाकी जो है ना ज़्यादातर वो किसको फॉलो करते हैं? ऑक्टेट को फॉलो करते हैं, ठीक है. मोस्टली फॉलो द ऑक्टेट. व्हाट इज ऑक्टेट रूल? लेट मी एक्सप्लेन इट, ओके. Octet rule. Why do atoms react? Question number 1. The reason is to become stable, like noble gases. How they become stable like noble gases? By gaining octet or duplet electronic configuration. Octet or duplet electronic configuration. What is octet electronic configuration? Octet electronic configuration. Okay, what is this? Gaining of 8 electron, gaining of 8 electrons in outermost shell, in outermost shell. How this can be done? By gaining, losing, or sharing electrons. Okay, but they have to gain 8 electrons. It can be done by the losing, by gaining, by sharing, or by losing electrons. Okay, so now let me tell you, I'm going to zoom it out. Okay, they have only one electron in the outermost shell, so they lose it. Means to gain octet they have two choices. Means they have to gain one or to lose one. They have to gain 7 or lose one. So it's easy for them to lose one. So hydrogen can gain and can lose both because it has to only follow the duplet. There are only three elements which follow the duplet electronic configuration. I mean, these are the hydrogen, lithium, and beryllium. They follow just helium. Okay, while other sodium, all other elements follow the octet electronic configuration of the helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. Okay, like this. So it loses one electron, so it becomes H plus. It lost. It also loses to gain 2 electrons. It has 3 electrons, 2 and 1. 2 and 1. And to become 8, it needs 7. So it's very difficult. So it loses this one as well. And in this way, its outermost becomes a duplet. Okay. So you can see that lithium, it has actually 2 and 1 electrons. Okay. So when it becomes lithium plus 2, plus, so it means lithium has lost 1 electron, plus that electron has been lost. Is it clear? So now it has 2 electrons only. Sodium, it has 11 electrons, Na. Okay, it has 11 electrons. How would we write 11 electrons? We'll write it has 2 electrons, then 8, and then 1. So it loses sodium, it becomes Na plus, it loses 2, 8 becomes, and this one is lost. This one is lost. Okay. So it gains Na plus charge. So all these gain Na plus charge and they lose 1 electron. They lose 2 electrons, they gain plus 2 charge. They lose 3 electrons, they gain plus 3 charge. They mostly don't lose. Sometimes sodium may lose, but they mostly share. They gain 2 electrons because they have outermost 6 electrons, and to become octet they have to gain 2 electrons. They have 7 electrons, so they gain 1. They neither lose nor gain because they are, you can say that octet is complete. So in this way they gain octet. This is when you can say, I'm going to explain it once more. When there comes metal and non-metal, metal lose, non-metal gain. Metal after losing electrons it becomes cation. Non-metal after gaining electrons becomes anion. So they have plus and minus opposite charges. So the electrostatic force of attraction, electrostatic force of attraction is developed. Okay. is formed, which is known as ionic bond. What is called ionic bond? For example, Na, we have its how many electrons? 2, 8, 1, and chlorine has 2, 8, and 7. What happens? It loses one electron, it becomes Na plus 2, 8. Octet is complete by losing electron. And that chlorine, it gains one electron, it has minus charge, 2, 8, and 7 becomes 8. Okay, 7 becomes 8, and 8 only one is left, and that one is left. Okay, so now a force is developed between them, that is called ionic bond, NaCl, because they have plus and minus opposite charges. Okay, so when metal and non-metal come close to each other, so what they form? Ionic bond. And when both are the non-metals, then covalent bond is formed. Which bond? Covalent bond. How? Let me tell you. Hydrogen, it has one electron. Other hydrogen, it also has one electron. They share with each other. They share with each other. So hydrogen, its dot and its cross, they share with each other. So now duplet of each atom is completed. Okay, you can see some more examples of covalent bond. I can let you know. Oxygen, O2. Oxygen, actually it has 8 electrons, means 2 and 6. To become 8, it needs 2 electrons. So it also shares as many as it needs. It shares 2 electrons. Okay, now you will see that oxygen, one atom this and one atom this. It has how many electrons in outermost shell? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 are taking part in bonding. It also has 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 are taking part in bonding. Okay, how many bonds they are forming? 2 bonds. Okay, so in this way they gain the double covalent bond. So this is sharing. So when non-metal comes close to non-metal, so they form sharing, because this is between the homoatoms, same type of the atoms. Let me give you one different example, that is of carbon dioxide or methane. You will see. Carbon dioxide. Carbon has 6 electrons, 2 and 4. It needs 4 and need to share 4. Oxygen has 8, means it has 8 electrons, 2 and 6. What will happen? This carbon, it has only 4 electrons in the outermost. It will share all of these 4 to become 8. Okay, so same is for oxygen. Oxygen has 6 electrons, 2 are taking part in bonding. Dot of this carbon and cross of this. Dot of this carbon, cross of this. Dot of this carbon, cross of this. Dot of this carbon and cross of this. So 2 of this oxygen taking part, 2 of this oxygen taking part. So how many are left of oxygen? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 these one and 4 these one, because these shared electrons are counted on both sides, so it becomes 8. 4 these one and 4 which are being shared, these are also counted on both sides, 8. Now let's talk about the carbon. Carbon, it has 4, so it needed 4, so it shared 4. Okay, so 4 these one and 4 these one, it becomes 8. So carbon also had gained octet electronic configuration. Oxygen also have gained octet electronic configuration, and oxygen, this also has gained octet electronic configuration. Okay, so in this way they form sharing, or they form covalent bond. They form covalent bond. Okay, this is for today. But all of these do not form. Some are beyond the octet rules. Means PCl5, BF3. They do not follow octet rule. Okay, so SO3, they also do not form the they also do not, you can say, obey the octet rule. These are the limitations of some octet rule, but mostly they follow the octet rule. Okay.